Uncle Kenny. And we are going to begin our budget hearings. Our first hearing will be from the Codes Department. So I would like to invite everyone, whoever will be speaking from the Codes Department, to come on up. And colleagues, you will find the information for the Codes Department located in your packet. In your digital budget book, those will be pages 374 to 380. So as you remember from yesterday, you have a packet before you, colleagues, and that packet will include the questionnaire from the department. You will also have the at a glance from the department, which shows the funding from 23, 24, 24, 25, and the proposed funding for 25, 26. You will also have this spreadsheet that shows what the status of each of the requests. So these are the budget modification requests. And on that, it will show under stage, if it is funded in the mayor's proposed budget, it will say mayor. If it was submitted but not funded, it will say submitted. So with that, we are going to go ahead and get started. I am going to wait for one moment because I need to make sure that your presentation is on the screen. So we will work on getting that up. And while we are getting that up, I will turn it over to you, Director. If you could introduce yourself and introduce who you have with you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bill Herbert. I'm the Director of Metro Codes. And I have with me this afternoon on my left, I have Alicia Swan. She's an Assistant Director. On my right, I have Brady Rich, who's our Deputy Director. In the audience, I have Building Chief Shannon Roberts. I've got our Operational Director, Byron Hall. I've got the Assistant Director over Property Standards, Bill Penn. And I've got our Assistant Director and PIO, Will Dodd. And we have our good friend, John Honeysucker, back there. So, first and foremost, the Codes Department can operate within the mayor's proposed operating budget. We will continue to use existing resources to maintain the highest levels of service while moving forward with important initiatives and programming. I'd like to thank Mayor O'Connell, Kristen Wilson, Janine Reed, and their teams, and we certainly appreciate the support of the mayor's office and the finance department. I also want to thank my entire staff for the hard work that they do on a daily basis in keeping Nashville's buildings safe and neighborhoods clean. Our core mission at Metro Codes is to issue construction and use-related permits and perform safety-related inspections. We administer and enforce Title 16 of the Metro Code, which relates to buildings and construction and exterior property areas. We also administer and enforce Title 17 of the Metro Code, which is the zoning code, and this governs the use of property as well as the size, height, and location of buildings. This fiscal year to date, we responded over 39,000 building and property violation complaints submitted via the hub, phone, email, and have responded to countless inquiries regarding zoning and short-term rental issues. Thanks to our short-term rental division, Nashville has maintained a 98% compliance rate, which is easily the highest compliance rate for any major city within the United States. Year to date, our building and trades divisions have conducted over 112,000 inspections and issued more than 50,000 total permits. Our building and trade inspection turnaround time is same day or next day. Our Property Standards Division has conducted over 39,000 inspections year to date with an average turnaround time of 48 hours. Codes continues to be 100% public facing. And this year we have assisted over 800 customers in person at our zoning help desk. The zoning help desk has exchanged over 4,000 emails with customers this year with an average turnaround time of 2 to 3 hours. This division truly exemplifies excellence in customer service. As always, I want to give special thanks to Amy Neal and our partners at ITS. Without their continuous support of ITS and the CityWorks team, these statistics would not be possible. For our current state, we expect to come in under budget at year end and will again achieve savings as best we can without compromising staff and customer needs. On the revenue side, year to date, we've collected nearly $23 million. Currently, revenue collections exceed expenses by over $7.7 million. We anticipate revenue collections of over $27 million by year end. We anticipate revenue to exceed expenses by $9 million by year end. In other words, Codes anticipates contributing $9 million to the general fund by year end. For FY25 year end, we expect to issue over 13,500 building permits with a construction value for those permits exceeding $4.6 billion. In 23 years, the value of construction has grown in Nashville. It has increased by 308%. In 2000, we had 107 positions. Today, we have 166 positions, and for that, we're extremely grateful. We currently have 13 vacancies for inspector positions that we are continuously posting and are always trying to fill. For FY26, our saving target has been recommended for restoration. Restoring this target provides us the continued ability to attempt to fill our vacant positions in order to provide faster and better service to the community. I'm also proud to say that we've been able to fill several positions with bilingual candidates. We now have 5 full-time staff who can assist limited or non-English speaking customers. 2 years ago, Codes was selected as one of 5 metro departments to participate in the Tennessee Language Center's Language Access Pilot Program. This program allows us 24/7, 365 access to a language hotline staffed with interpreters, along with document translation services. We use these tools to assist hundreds of non-English speaking customers and many more virtually with translated documents available online. Highlighting our zoning help desk again, 40% of the 800 customers assisted in-house spoke either Spanish or Arabic, and we were able to provide immediate assistance with 2 of the 5 help desk employees being bilingual. I also want to thank Erin Williams and her team at Hub Nashville for their continued partnership. In the past 2 years, we've established a dedicated Hub Queue manager for every major division within Codes, along with hiring an internal Hub coordinator. Customers can now submit requests into every division of the Codes department and have multiple staff fielding those requests and responding in a timely manner. Last but not least, I'm so grateful to our HR partners and the Civil Service Commission for recommending pay increases for our inspection staff. With these improvements, we're able to better compete with our neighboring jurisdictions in order to recruit and retain qualified staff. Metro Codes remains dedicated to doing our part to make this department one of the best customer service agencies in the state. It is both my honor and privilege to work with this governing body and the mayor's office. And with that, we're happy to take any questions.
Thank you so very much, Director, and we appreciate everything that you do for our city. We especially appreciate that $9 million coming back to the general fund, so thank you so much for that. It would be amazing if everyone could operate in that manner, but we know that that's not a reality. But thank you again. We will go to see if anyone has any questions, and the first person I see is Councilmember Cortez. You're recognized.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Director and team, for all your work. We really appreciate it. Just a quick question. I noticed in the questionnaire that you mentioned that salaries aren't always competitive and that can sometimes hurt with retention and bringing new talent to the table. How far off are we in salaries, and where do we sit in the national average?
Alicia, you have a feel for that? I think right now we're getting pretty close. Do you have a feel?
We don't have exact numbers, but I know that other jurisdictions, they can pay, last time we checked, up to $10, $15 more per hour. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but 10 to 15 more per hour, and then less volume of work. So those are the things we deal with every day when we're trying to recruit. So this pay increases every year. The last 2 years have been really helpful for us. I know vacancies, we filled many more in the last 2 years with these last increases. So that, I hope we can continue that pattern. But for now, I know at least, I think Rutherford County, several others, Williamson, there are at least 7 to 10 more. So,
Thank you, that's helpful. And whatever you can do, please keep Will Dodd on the payroll because he's been fantastic to work with.
We know that and appreciate him very much.
yeah.
I think he's blushing back there. Colleagues, does anyone else have any questions? Councilmember Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Two quick questions. Y'all have worked really hard to create an expedited process for affordable housing. Can you speak to whether that has any budget implications, or if you got enough staff to make that work?
Yeah, I don't think there's any budget implication to that. For us, it's merely, as long as we know that an application that's come in, if it's noted as affordable, then we can bump it to the top of the review list, and it takes precedence over everything else.
Okay.
So there's no budget consideration.
Staff-wise, you're
for us.
good on that one.
We just need to know.
Great. And I think we're coming up with better systems to do that. So thank you for that. And then secondly, your budget reflects a decrease because of moving 2 codes inspectors to the nighttime crew. But can you, I guess, confirm and verify those are not just doing noise complaints, they're also doing, like if someone is operating an auto thing out of their neighborhood, whatever. So they're able to do the kind of codes complaints that we couldn't follow up on in the past if it needed nighttime follow-up. Is that correct? Or will it be in the future?
I think it will be in the future. I think first things first, so we're sending the money over to the Mayor's Office of Nightlife. They need to onboard those people, and we're letting them do the hiring for that. And once they do, then they're going to be under the purview of the Mayor's Office of Nightlife.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we're going to look at them as their employees.
Gotcha.
We're just sending the money over there.
Okay. Ultimately, will there be maybe way down the line training for, and here are what code violations that we can't catch because they're happening at night look like?
I've got no opposition to that as long as the Mayor's Office of Nightlife does that, because quite frankly, our department is not equipped to work at night. They are. So to the extent that they're open to that, I'm completely open to it.
Right. And I think that's a time thing. So maybe in next year's budget, we put something for training, whatever. Okay. I think we're good for this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Councilmember Allen, Councilmember Swear, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Director. My question is on the language access. You said you were a pilot and you could see that it actually helped a lot with services to constituents. Is there continued funding for that in your budget?
Unfortunately, that program ended not too long ago, so we are currently looking for vendors right now. I know we have several Metro vendors and options to continue this, but for right now, that program ended. And we are currently, as of this week, I'm making calls and trying to figure out who can we use next? Who can we partner with? I think social services is involved, so we'll keep you posted on that.
So my question is, if you do find the vendors, you have the money for it, you're just trying to find
yes.
the vendors?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, yes, I hope you find the vendors.
Same.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilmember Swear. Councilwoman Ellis, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chair, for recognizing me, even though I'm not on the committee. Thank you all from the Codes Department, and I would echo Councilmember Cortez's statement about Will Dodd. He's one of my favorites as well. I have a question. So I wanted to understand more what the communications expense includes. And the reason that I ask is I wonder, is there money that you all allocate to communicating with residents about property standards? So say, for instance, one of the major issues in my district is where folks are parking on their lawns. But I wonder how often does communication go out just en masse, even if it's a little postcard that reminds folks, these are what the property standards are, and if that is included in comms.
We do have informational pamphlets, and I know that Director Penn is here also in the galley, but I know they do community meetings. We have community brochures and pamphlets, educational materials, but I know Assistant Director Penn and his group, they're doing community meetings. They're out in the community monthly, maybe bi-monthly.
Oh, yeah, no, they're wonderful with showing up.
Right.
I'm asking, does anything get mailed?
I do not believe we currently mail anything right now. No, not that I'm aware of. That is definitely something we could put on our radar.
So what does the communications include exactly?
We might want to get Director Penn, Assistant Director Penn, to speak to that. Phil, would you want to speak to that?
So the line item in the budget for communications under the operating expense, what does that cover?
Are you asking specifically for property standards?
Well, just in general, since the communication to residents isn't included in that.
There's no specific budget for, I guess, activities or pamphlets. We have them, and there are funds available if we need to create more pamphlets or do more community meetings, or, supplies for that. That's available, but we don't have anything that we currently mail regularly.
Got it. So do you know what?
So if you're speaking enforcement and abate notices, yes, there's budget for that.
Got it. So do you know what communications covers? Like, what is that category?
Council Lady Ellis, will you put
sorry.
your mic there? Thank you.
I'm still new here.
It's all good. I just want to make sure we can hear you.
So what does the communications category, like, what does that cover exactly?
So communications department-wide it's computers, it's cell phones, it's jetpacks. So each of our inspectors have to have a jetpack so that they are connected to CityWorks, which is our permitting system. They need strong connection to the internet when they're out in the field. That's $40 a month per inspector, and at 65 inspectors, that's quite a lot. So it involves, any kind of communication support like phones and jetpacks and laptop repairs. So just anything to do with that.
And just one more follow-up. So do the inspectors, do they have their own cell phone devices that they
do.
communicate from?
They
That's
do.
provided by codes?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Council Lady Ellis. Do we have any other questions? All right, seeing none, I am so proud of this committee. Thank you all so much, and thank you, Director, for all the work that you all do. Thank you all for being here, and we will prepare for our next hearing, which is the Planning Commission. So planning, if you all will make your way up, we appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.